In this video, I'm going to explain a process for evaluating brands on Marketplace, and I'm going to share with you some tools I actually created to help make this process easier. And so basically, what we're doing in this process is we're taking brands and then we're searching those brands on marketplaces such as Amazon or eBay. And from there, we're finding products, then taking those products and finding sources of those products. Right? So this is basically the process. It's a brands-based research process, but I'm also using automations. And so I'll explain how all of this fits together. First of all, just to break down the process a little, step one is to actually search the brand on the marketplace. So that's easy. You just go to the marketplace website and search the brand. Now that's easy for one brand. However, if you have a lot of brands, you can also do automations. You can use automations. So you can do it manually if you're doing a small number of brands, or you can use automations. Now for the automations, you can use, for instance, for Amazon, browser automations are what I use in order to search the brand on Amazon, because I'm not able to scrape it into Google Sheets, at least not for free. Okay, not without costs, right? So that's always the thing to keep in mind. It's not that there isn't a way to do things, but the cost of doing them sometimes is the issue. So now with eBay, on the other hand, eBay can be searched directly from Google Sheets, and it doesn't cost anything per search to do that. So you can actually search directly from Google Sheets and pull data right in to the Google Sheet, okay, and that actually works, okay. However, you have to have the ability to code and make those things happen, and that's what I've done, and that's what I'm sharing with you. And so that's really the value here is the time that you save with those automations. Step two is to evaluate the brands. Okay, so evaluating the brands, basically there's certain things that we're looking at, because a brand is just a name by itself. But then you've got certain categories that the brand sells. You have a price range. There might be a certain supply of that brand on the marketplace. It might not be on the marketplace at all. There's also a certain sales volume. How well is the brand selling? What's the volume like, and also in relation to the price, because if the prices are really high, maybe that's why the volume is low, and if the prices are really low, maybe that's why the volume is high, so on and so forth, right? So you can look at these different factors. Now, you can do this in a more loosely, where you just kind of search the brands and just kind of look at the results and, make some conclusions. Or you can do it more specifically by actually collecting real data and using actual formulas and actually, calculating these things, right? So there are different ways we can do this, and I get into that with some different tools and things. But right now, just to keep it more general, basically we're just going to apply a criteria, based on these different factors, and then just determine, well, which brands are you actually going to consider? Because remember, you don't really want to jump right into sourcing something because it takes time to source, right? So you want to kind of check some of these factors first before you decide that you want to start spending the time sourcing products, right? So that brings me to the next step, which is actually sourcing the products. So, for sourcing, basically we're just searching the products on search engines. That's really it. Search the actual products on search engines, find supplier sources. Basically, we can use Google Sheets or browser automations to do this, as I just described before. The thing is that Google Sheets can do it faster, but the ability to actually get the data from the sources, that's something that you may not always be able to do. I'm going to say it's variable, unless you're using some kind of API service that just knows how to do it, all right, and get that data. But I do have some solutions and things I've built that will work for some websites, and then there's also software, if you're willing to go in that direction, that can do it for even more websites. But I'll get more into that in the future. Google Shopping, however, is a great way to source products where you actually have all the data about those products. And so by using a Google Shopping browser automation that I built, you can actually search the products on Google Shopping and actually grab the price data no matter what the supplier is, because it's just there. Google Shopping has that data. Google Shopping gets that data directly from suppliers, and they have it on Google Shopping. The speed, however, is slower because it has to actually run in the browser. Okay, it's got to run in the browser and essentially do it manually. So the speed is much slower than when I do that script automation in Google Sheets. So now I know that's a lot. And if you're kind of like a little confused about all of these different things, it makes more sense when you actually see the tools and how they work. And I've done that a lot in other videos. Right here in this video, I'm just going to kind of give you a look at what I'm talking about. For Google Sheets, for instance, this is a Google Sheet that I made that actually extracts the eBay products right into the Google Sheet. So you see these are various products from eBay. And this was a brand search, I believe, actually, of some kind that I had done. And although you see a variety of brands here showing up, but the results came from a certain brand that I had searched for pancake mix. And then you see it pulls all this different product data, like how many sold, last 24 hours, the prices. So you can immediately kind of get an idea of the price range and things like that, as I just discussed in the presentation. And then over here, it automatically finds supplier sources, which are links. Right, these different URLs that are the same or similar products to what is originally on eBay. You can see that how these products match here in the preview, right? That is literally has found the same products in many cases. Now, basically, that's good, but the only thing is that you don't actually have the price data for these, right? I mean, of course, you can go get that data, but it's nice when you can just grab that data in automatically. I do have a browser automation that gets price data specifically from Amazon, ASINs. But the point is that, you know, it's not all happening right here in this Google Sheet at the moment where you can just get the price data right in here and calculate the profit right away. But it can potentially do that on the products list. I do have a few things that I've made and that can work with a software such as Scuba that can possibly get the price data. So you can use that, and I have another function called get data that is able to grab prices from some websites. So you can use things like that. Okay, but I have to explain that more in other videos. For Amazon, there's like a similar system, but it doesn't grab the data straight in to the sheet, but it does search the product titles once you have them and try to find supplier sources. And it's called an Amazon sourcer, but technically you could put products here from any website. It doesn't really matter the website because it's just searching for the product titles and find the sources. So they don't really have to actually come from Amazon. It's just called Amazon sourcer because I set up this template with Amazon in mind. And I think it was actually the first one I created, if I'm not, pretty sure this was the first sourcer. I've created a lot of Google Sheets, a lot. I made a lot of them. And I think this was the first like actual sourcing one that I made. Yeah. So, you know, it was made for Amazon, but technically you can put other suppliers in here, other markets in here. So that's like kind of the core of the eBay and Amazon stuff. And there's other stuff as well. And then these are my browser automations. So this is a free platform called Automa. Automa, this is a totally free and open source platform for developing and running browser automations. So you can actually access my browser automations here totally free of charge. I provide the link and you can just go right in here and access these browser automations. Add them to Automa. So you do need to install it to your computer. It installs as a Chrome extension and then also runs right here off the desktop. As you can see down here, this is the one of the automations that I made recently, an Amazon search scraper. So this is kind of what it looks like. So basically you would add the automation here and then you run it from here. Okay, and that's basically how that works. I do show you how to do that as well in videos. So just check the links in the description of this video for, you know, to get to this stuff and to see how to work with it. So that's basically what I wanted to show you in this video. This was really just kind of an introduction into evaluating the brands on marketplaces, explain basically what's going to be used. See the description of this video. I have a link to where I've kind of assembled this stuff as a course, so you can kind of go through a sequence, and that will be easier for you to locate and understand the process in kind of in more organized manner right, in a sequential manner, so you can go through one part after the other. So basically, again, just check the description of the video. All the links are there. Just check the links in the description. Everything you need is right there. All right. So any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave them below. Or if you want to contact me, I've got contact information. Do give me some time to respond, because I'm not like I don't have employees or anything like that. So it will be me actually responding. And so you can contact me that way. Or if you want to leave comments on the channel, on the video, you can do that as well. And anyway, that's it. I'm Mr. Mark Teach, Tools for Sellers. And I look forward to either hearing from you or seeing you around in another video.